Hello and welcome to the Football Talk Exchange. And today I'm joined by Abhay and Rishabh, who is also Sudhanshu's iPhone. So today we'll be discussing three main things. Firstly, Man City's ban being overturned for the Champions League. The Champions League draw as well will be a part of that segment. Secondly, we'll be discussing a few transfer rumors and a few clubs should be going about how they should go about their transfer business. And lastly, we'll also be discussing the La Liga title race, which is almost done and dusted,
Yeah.
and
I
the
think
Champions League qualification spots, especially in the Premier League and Serie A as well. I mean, Serie A is also done, and Serie A also Inter Milan has qualified. So we'll be
Yeah.
discussing the Prem too in the end. So,
okay.
firstly, from as part of an MUN where the agenda was financial fair play, and I did do a lot of research about the Man City topic, and from there it looked very unlikely that their ban would be overturned,
Mm.
but as we all know, it has been.
Hmm.
So I think. Hmm. So, what effect or how do you think it will affect Man City's transfer business for the coming summer?
I think obviously they will have less inflow of cash because all the top players like De Bruyne, they were saying that if they don't get qualified for the CL, they would obviously leave.
Hmm.
Now, now that the ban has been overturned, I think they will obviously keep stars like Sterling, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, and
De
Jesus.
Bruyne.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think, but they still have 150 million of
Transfer.
budget to spend in
Yeah.
this window. So I
Hmm.
think that's quite a lot, and I think he'll spend it on his defense by buying
Hmm.
two bench warmers for 150 million. But I think, yeah, now that the ban has been overturned, they wouldn't want to look for more options instead of like selling De Bruyne off and buying someone else in
Hmm.
his place. So I think
Yeah.
that's good for them.
I
Rishabh?
genuinely think
Hmm.
that they have like even though they got they got the ban overturned, they would still have like restrictions because like they wouldn't want the situation again. So I
Yeah.
think they
Hmm.
wouldn't spend as much. And but as Abhay said, like correctly, like I think they're gonna spend a lot on their defense because their defense is the thing that caused so many problems this season.
Hmm.
And at the same time, I think like I think the ban being overturned was a completely was all an entertain it was from an entertainment point of
Yeah.
view, because Manchester City is a big team with a lot of fans, and like it's been building for the last 5-10 years. No, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I
Hmm.
mean it's been building for the last 5-10 years. It does not have a lot of fans. Let's get that straight. But yeah, it has fans. So
Hmm.
I think it makes the UCL more entertaining, and I think that's why Champions League. I think that's why mainly why City got the better of it.
Hmm. And were you guys expecting Guardiola to leave City if their ban would have been not revoked? Because Guardiola obviously loves the Champions League. He's not won it for like 6-7 years now,
Yeah.
and he would have
Yeah,
been desperate to win it. Another 2 years would have been a long wait for him.
yeah,
But I don't think that he
uh,
would have left unless it was for a top club like Juve because Sarri is not
yeah,
performing that well. And there was some rumors if the CL ban does not get overturned, then Pep might look for greener pastures and go to UA to manage
Hmm.
a very all-rounded side. So I think
Yeah.
now that the ban has been overturned, he would stay here and spend some more on quality players, and hopefully he wins the CL from his side.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I don't see Pep moving anywhere until and unless like he finds a new challenge. So I I just don't see him moving because I think, as he said in the interview, he said he has like goals to achieve, and I know Pep hasn't won the Champions League a lot, but I don't think he's bothered by the Champions League as much because, as he said, he always finds the league more intimidating because the league requires consistency and he thrives on
Consistency,
that
yeah.
consistency. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I think he wouldn't leave Manchester City for just a Champions League ban. I think he would actually come back stronger and win it the next year. So the year they.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's Manchester City, so let's not kid ourselves. They might not do anything.
And your thoughts on the Champions League draw? Like, what was your first reaction the moment you saw it?
CR7 homecoming. That was all I thought.
Same.
That was all I wanted,
No,
so it's good.
yeah, I mean, that's the dream matchup, right? For like the fans. But I know like everyone thinks like all the matches we have already, like Madrid and Manchester City, and then Madrid, the winner of that match and Juventus Leon, and see Barca Bayern, like or like Napoli also. But I think the most entertaining out of all is Juve Atalanta. No way. I think people are not giving it enough credit. It is going to be open. It is going to be like fast. It's going to be it's a lot of talent on the pitch, and people don't know like how capable Atlanta are. They have no idea. I think Atlanta, like the way they're like an organized pack of wolves. Like they just attack. And in such an organized and disciplined way, and they don't stop. And which is, I think, crazy because like in the one of the most defensive leagues in the world, they score like 4 or 5 goals a
7-8
match.
goals, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean it's you need like I think they deserve a lot of respect, and I think they're gonna win. I genuinely think they'll beat PSG.
They have scored
Very good.
more goals than the top 3 in Serie A. They have scored 87
Yeah.
and the rest of them are 68. 87
Damn.
goals. That's
And like
more than
against you,
Barca.
yeah, and like against Juventus, like the way they press the midfield, and like Juventus is a good team, and they're performing well. I think against Milan they just had like that slip up, but
That
against
lapse of
like again,
concentration.
I think against Atlanta, I think Atlanta just outplayed them. Atlanta outplayed Juventus. So I'm just saying PSG has a tough match coming, a
Tough match,
really
yeah.
tough match. Yeah. I strongly have a very good feeling about that match.
So, like, what are your expectations out of Atalanta? Rishabh said that he thinks Atlanta can go on and win the Champions League as well.
Yeah, I think
I don't
it's
think like
possible, but
they can go
And
that
what
far
is
because obviously the lack of experience will cost them dearly because
hinder them?
they'll go on to face PSG and Atletico most likely
yeah, that
who have
is
been to like two CL finals this decade. The last decade,
yeah.
my bad. Yeah. So I think they would have a tough time because even Simeone's uh, team is a bit defensive, and I
And it's
think
organized, yeah.
they'll find it harder to penetrate through the defense.
Break
But
them
I
down,
think it'll be a good matchup for this
You're a
season.
good
So, like,
matchup.
what's your limit? What's your upper limit for Atalanta?
Upper
Do you
limit
think they'll get knocked
semis.
out against PSG?
Semis,
Like
semis.
optimistically, if they defeat PSG, then I think they would have a higher probability and momentum to defeat Atletico. But I don't think that would be highly probable. But they have a slight chance.
We're also like forgetting Leipzig, I think, because I mean, if Leipzig ends up beating Atletico, you never know. I mean, this is football, right?
Yeah,
But
I
Timo
think
Werner
but
has
is
left
Werner playing?
Leipzig, so it's going to be difficult for them to
I
be as good as
Oh,
a team.
yeah,
he
but
left already. But I thought that he was still in the squad to
no, he
face.
left the Champions League squad.
Oh, that's a very huge blow.
But I definitely think that like, see, I think right now because of the 90 minutes thing, I mean, like it's become like the World Cup, and I think everything is just unexpected. Everything can. It's basically, I think, the peak of football. You don't know what can happen. Like
It's
Russia.
about that very
Nobody really
moment.
expected Russia to play that well in
Defeat Spain, yeah.
2018. Yeah, and so I think it's just a performance on the day, and I think I think every team has an opportunity to win, you know. So it's very tough to overlook a team. It's just I don't know, that's the thrill about this year's Champions League. I mean,
All right. So now we'll move on to a much more general topic. Before we move on to the transfer window discussion, so Jurgen Klopp, do you think he can build a legacy like Sir Alex Ferguson? Rooney said this in an interview, and from what I've read yesterday, Klopp has said that he'll leave Liverpool after 2024 season ends. So, like, what are your thoughts on that? And can he really go on and build a very good legacy for 20-25 years like Wenger and Sir Alex did at Arsenal and United, respectively?
I don't think so, because this season, like, they played heavenly, obviously, but like City faltered because of the defense. So I think I think Liverpool had like a 70% skill in winning the PL, but also like 30% luck, because City didn't
Other
play
teams
to
played
their
bad, yeah.
potential. Yeah. So I think if the top six teams, they buckle themselves and they try to play tough, so I think Liverpool will have a hard chance to recreate this season.
to be
Definitely,
honest, like
definitely going to be tough to recreate this season.
Yeah.
yeah, but like to be honest, I think Klopp has already left a legacy. I think
Yeah.
he's left a huge legacy, like a huge mark. I mean, on the team, and I think he's gonna win more titles. But I think to have Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy, to have you
Yeah.
need that longevity, and that dedication to the club. And I don't think Klopp is
Klopp
like.
is that
I know
cop.
he's
Yeah.
dedicated to club, but I think he wants more. I think he keeps challenging himself. He has a bit of Guardiola to himself,
Yeah.
because I mean
Okay,
he
yeah.
left Dortmund. I don't see him like staying for long, like as long as Ferguson did. So I don't think he'll be building that legacy.
Okay, yeah. And I think Bartomeu recently, in an interview with TV3 or some radio, he said that Xavi is already ready to become
Yeah.
Barcelona manager. As in, he has the skill, but right now they're sticking with Setien. And is Xavi even managing a team right now?
Yeah. I think some
Japanese
team
team.
in the it's some Al Sadd, I guess.
Oh,
Qatar only. When he was
the
playing,
Qatari
I
Arabic
team.
think
team.
he's
Yeah,
Yeah.
managing.
sorry.
Huh,
Iniesta was playing for the Japanese team. Sorry.
huh.
Uh,
Xavi. Yeah.
I just don't understand how like I know like he's a great player and but managing is a whole different league. It's a whole different thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to give.
Especially when you're only experienced about the Qatari league, which is not really
Yeah.
a competitive league or a great league.
Yeah,
So like,
and like
what they
I
should
think
do is like they should hire a very experienced coach and appoint Xavi as his
Assistant
assistant.
coach.
understudy,
Yeah.
so that like in 2015, like we had Ancelotti, I guess, yeah, and Zidane
Yeah,
was
and
his
Zidane was
assistant,
his
yeah.
Yeah,
So
assistant.
I
Yeah.
think that
yeah,
gave him a high boost to
Hmm.
propel Real into
yeah.
the CL finals.
And
Like Euro.
he also had like a lot of practice with Castilla,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, but like I see the thing is with these days the teams, right? They don't give time to managers to settle in because like I
Hmm.
think they want to like achieve their expectations too quickly, and sometimes time is required. For example,
Yeah.
you have Manchester United, manager after manager, but now they finally gave some time with Ole and gave him some leeway, and now look at him. I think he's doing really well. So I think with Xavi, the same thing's gonna happen. He comes in, they would want him to win the Champions League, quick, really quickly. Everything should be like spot on. And I think he's just entered the managing, you know, the
The
managing
managerial
world.
world.
So I
Yeah.
think yeah. So I mean, you can't just put so much pressure on a manager like so quickly. You have to wait, and I don't think Barca has that patience. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it being a good thing. I mean, look at Setien. I think like Setien is like has the perfect game style for Barca, and I think he's a nice person, you know, his personality is nice.
But
But like his
the main
performance is,
caveat is that the the team themselves don't listen to Setting directly because so
Yeah.
yeah,
seeing a, a couple of matches and uh,
oh
during
yeah,
like the halftime and the cool
terrible
breaks,
attitude.
Messi and like his teammates were
Uh,
just like talking amongst themselves, and
Themselves.
Setien
Yeah.
was just standing there like a duck. So I think
I know,
Mm-hmm.
attitude has to be
like
there to respect the coach and the staff.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I think, yeah,
and like I
when you
mean,
have those, okay, go on.
I don't know, you go on.
So
So
when teams have those water breaks, I look at all the teams, they are like
Yeah,
in a circle or a semicircle listening to the manager
yeah,
carefully. But with Barca, I saw this couple of photos where they were like completely scattered. No one was
yeah.
talking, no communication between the players.
I like for like I think like everyone's gonna hate me for this, but I think Messi's attitude
Yeah, it has
towards like
turned a,
managers, it
a,
has
a bit selfish into himself. Yeah,
yeah,
Mm.
and I think also in the pitch. So I think like it shows a bit on the
yeah.
pitch. Like I
Especially
know he's
that
still like a
one
god,
time where he
you know.
punched Diego Carlos in the neck. I think like he just shoved him,
Yeah,
and that was for no
no
reason at
reason.
all. So I think
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that has to change.
See, Messi
I think
still
it's
plays like amazing.
Yeah,
I just
his
think
yeah.
his
playing
work
is
rate
gone
has
level.
gone.
Yeah,
I think he doesn't like work as hard, Like he does work hard, but I don't think he works
Maybe
hard
it's
enough.
because maybe it's because
Also,
no
age is also affecting him a
age,
bit.
and even coming back from the lockdown, like
Yeah.
most players are not working as hard as they would be before the lockdowns.
Plus, I think he's trying to like say like recover his body, slowly,
Hmm.
because like I mean Barca kind of depends on him. So I think
Yeah.
he needs to stay fit. That's what I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I just don't like his attitude like towards the
Hmm.
manager. Because like he's just entered. Like I think Setien needs some time. Like and he came halfway, so I just
Yeah.
don't see like a reason to pick on him that much.
Hmm.
And yeah, I
Hmm.
yeah.
So I also wanted to talk about the Europa League draw, but I also realized that
I haven't
none of you
seen the
support
draw.
teams
We
are.
even I
Yeah,
haven't seen the draw.
That's
wait,
all
I'll
right.
see
That's
the
all
draw.
right. I think United have a very
Wait,
easy draw. They'll easily
is
qualify to the
Inter Milan
semi-final
there
on
in the
Friday.
Europa League?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Inter Milan is there. Yeah.
Then I think they'll win it. No,
Okay.
no.
Interesting.
Manchester
They
United is
are
also there. Wait,
they are
shit.
playing
Yeah, said.
versus
Yeah.
Nah, you
Getafe,
got.
which is quite the anti-football team,
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
and they just defeated
No,
Ajax. So like they are having a very high momentum.
Hmm.
Oh, there is
uh,
Sevilla Roma. That will be a good matchup.
Hmm.
But the
Roma.
but the last time
Zaniolo
Roma
is
faced a
back.
Spanish team. Hmm.
Oh yeah. I I I definitely think I think dude Roma is become like stronger now because like
Stronger, but
the
in the league
Zaniolo is back.
they're just playing abysmal.
But like I
Hmm.
think like the best young player is back. I think the best player
Yeah.
I think Zaniolo, dude, he's superb. I
Zaniolo.
mean,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
youngster. Zaniolo, sorry, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I keep getting confused, but yeah, he's superb on the ball, strong, fast, great finisher.
Hmm.
I mean, I mean,
And
what
they
else are
also
you
have
looking for?
Smaldini, so hmm,
Yeah.
they are safe at the back.
Hmm.
And yeah,
So if we
I
do not
mean
have
that's
anything else, I mean, you guys have something to talk about, or should we move to the transfer window segment?
Yeah,
Whatever.
transfer
you
window.
know, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So, firstly, I do not know if you guys have seen this or not, but Marca, who I call the unofficial spokesperson of Real Madrid or mouthpiece of Real Madrid,
Yeah.
so they are saying that Real Madrid will not buy any players this summer, and they will wait for their main transfer targets, Mbappe and Kamavinga, and they'll buy them next year because next year both these players will only have 1 year left
1
on
year
their
left on the
contracts.
contracts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
do you think at a time where Barcelona could be buying a new player like they've already bought in Trincao, they're going to buy probably Lautaro as well. So do you think Real Madrid will have a disadvantage for next year's La Liga race at least,
I mean,
if
it
not the
depends
Champions League?
because the rumors are too good to be true because like Madrid not buying someone like at least like a 10 million
Yeah,
spend. That's like something
From
I
some
I haven't seen since the
some
dawn of
some young Brazilian.
yeah.
You'd be
Yeah,
expecting
yeah,
some
some
young
young
Brazilian.
yeah, exactly.
yeah. I mean, Madrid is big on their recruitment and their scouting, so I think they'll be bringing in some good young players, you know.
And also,
And I think,
Madrid are trying to bolster their uh, Castilla team because they have Raul as the head coach of the under 17 team, I guess. So I think they are looking to promote some young talents, homegrown, like Javi Hernandez is one of those, and also we have Andre Lunin, who might be
Lunin is
as
a great goalkeeper.
the secondary goalkeeper, and the team that he was loaned to, Cadiz, I guess, they have been promoted to La Liga as they
La Liga. Okay.
won the Segunda.
So,
So I think
great.
and I think Madrid squad is good. I think like they already have a very deep
deep
squad,
squad.
and I think they'll be selling players. So I think Bale is going for
Yeah.
sure.
Bale,
I
James.
don't see him
No.
staying.
Okay, from what I've
Like I
read,
think
nobody's interested in buying Bale.
no, I think
Why would
Spurs
you?
will. I think Spurs might.
Oh,
Because like
I
I think
do
see,
not think so because they had to borrow like 175 million pounds from some bank to get through this pandemic. So
but
I do
like
not see how like they're gonna be able to fund transfers.
see, I think Bale, like no matter what people say, I think he's still a fantastic player. Okay, he has a terrible attitude, but I mean, how can you blame him? Imagine your manager telling you that, dude, you're a piece of shit. I don't want you in my team. You know, why are you
But then
here? I
again,
mean,
look at his injury record as well, na.
yeah.
I remember games
but
when he used to come off at halftime.
yeah, but I think he'll find some team, you know, some good team, you know, some good team will be willing to
I think
invest.
Spurs would be willing to buy him back.
Yeah, I genuinely think that too. Like,
Where he will be
because
forced
I
to play
think
as a wing back under Mourinho.
Yeah.
no, I think with Mourinho, he gets to do what he is best at, right? Counter, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah,
run
exactly.
behind defenses. I mean, you don't get better than that with like any other manager. So I think he will fit perfectly with Mourinho. Plus, Mourinho is like big on like redeeming players, you know. So I think, yeah, I think he's. I still think he's fantastic. I just don't understand why Zidane doesn't play him. I think it's the attitude, but
Attitude.
I still don't
And
get it.
and whenever we have played him in the first half of the season, he has been
Yeah,
quite average because he he's slow now because like he's not as fast as
As
he
fast as he
once
would be, yeah.
used to be, and that was his main selling point. And he's slow,
Hmm.
like he's good obviously, but I think Vinicius can play better than him right now. So I think
yeah. I
he
think
is
they should focus
fallen
on
down the
Vinicius. Yeah.
pecking order.
Yeah.
And we also have Lord Vasquez, so he stands no chance.
And there's lots of rumors circulating that Real Madrid are gonna sell Luka Jovic this summer. So like,
For
what
sure.
are your thoughts on that, Abhay?
I
And
think
Rishabh
that
as well, obviously.
I think that Zidane should uh, not sell him, but like loan him for a year or two, so that he gets some playing time and starts to hone his skills like he had at Frankfurt. And in that time period, they can buy Mbappe and sell Benzema, so that we give Jovic quite a long time to prove himself because Benzema is 31, I guess now, and I think
But
his
there's no
skills.
like stopping him. He's only like he's consistently
Yeah,
playing at a
he has
good level.
getting
succeeded
better.
in a span of like 2 or 3
2
years. I
years.
think
Yeah.
he would deteriorate in skills. So I think Jovic has a chance to prove himself again. And
Right.
we bought him for like 60 million, and I don't think we'll sell him upwards of 35. So I think
Yeah.
Perez would like to give him a second chance at Madrid.
I personally don't see Jovic in the next year for like Madrid, because very like if you see, I think Madrid wants to I think Madrid would love to spend the summer, I think the only way you're gonna get some cash is by selling some of the players you don't really require. And I think Jovic is still young, teams would want him. Like he had just one bad season, so I think it's like the perfect way to get some cash and spend it on players you would really use. And it's right now it's a tough period for like all clubs. So I think Madrid would love to sell all their assets,
Yeah,
like
they're
most
looking to
of their
sell James Rodriguez and
Bale
Luka
for
apparently
sure.
as well. I mean, Bale is going to be difficult to find
And
a shooter
also
because of his high
Mariano, because
wages
he's
as
like
well.
the fourth striker on the
Yeah.
team.
Mariano. Third, fourth striker.
Yeah.
Number 7, Ronaldo's heir to the throne. Yeah.
And like Man City and United as well, for that matter, have been linked to so many centre backs, and same centre backs like Skriniar, Koulibaly, Nathan Ake. All these players have been linked to City and United both.
Yeah.
So if you were manager of one or both of these, like if you want to answer for one, you can answer for one, or if you want to answer for both, you can answer for both. Which centre back, like what would be your priority for all these three centre backs?
As Pep, I would like to buy Koulibaly. Like he's the top at any list. So I think, and so like a pairing of Laporte and Koulibaly would be a very tough defense to attack against, and I think that would give them an edge versus Liverpool and the top 6, obviously. So I think that's all they need. Just a good CB.
And Rishabh, like, would it be Skriniar or Koulibaly for you?
Koulibaly.
Okay.
I just don't see.
Okay. I know there's still questions over Skriniar's ability.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are like I think there's one more centre back. I think in Leicester, what's his name? I can't pronounce.
Soyuncu. Yeah.
Soyuncu, whatever. Yeah.
I think he's a solid player, and I think a lot of teams want him. So I think maybe him, because I think he has the Premier League experience. Plus, I think he's not. Yeah, and he's not that old, right? He's like, I think.
Yeah, Skriniar is 26, right? I think, and Koulibaly is 28, going to be 29, I think.
Yeah, so I think
and
this is the prime time to buy him. And
23.
Dude, so yeah, I mean, and he's this good already. He's very good.
25, he's very young. Oh, Inter open to letting Skriniar leave for 60 mil.
Yeah, and like what I also saw
in this market they won't get higher.
Yeah.
What I also read was they're wanting to swap either Jesus or Aguero for Skriniar.
Why would Inter need a striker? They have Lautaro and Lukaku.
Lautaro could be sold, so that is why they're probably looking for a replacement.
We are to Barca, right? Because like Suarez. That would be a dangerous. I think it'd be amazing for Argentina, because two of their best players getting to know each other better on the field is like all they need, right?
And the fans would also have someone new to blame. So
yeah.
I was waiting for this.
I mean, the best part about like blaming players in Barca is that Barca fans are speechless. I think it's just interesting to see them not talk. It's nice because like they always have something to say, so it's cool.
And so talking about sticking to Barcelona, if you were the Barcelona manager or the sporting director or whoever has the authority or control over transfers, like
Hmm.
what positions would you be looking to improve in their team?
Centre back and left wing. I think that's not for me. Like striker
Mhm.
Suarez has a good year in him. So like in this
Mhm.
window, I would be seeing to buying a good young centre back to be paired with Longley and a
Mhm.
good winger. So like Griezmann is not uh, very good. Like in the
Yeah.
last to last match, he played well, but his overall performances have been not as good as his 130 million price tag. So I think they would want to buy a good winger. So like they
Yeah.
bought Trinsao, and he's a very good player.
Okay.
So I
He's
think
a right winger. Yeah.
yeah, they would like to play him at both the wings so that he
Mhm.
can success Messi and currently provide a good wing formation with Messi and Suarez.
Yeah. Mhm.
Same. I agree. Center like defense and left wing. I mean, and I think maybe CDM also because I think Busquets is getting older and you
Yeah,
want like
I
a
mean,
solid
yeah,
position.
their midfield is
Solid.
literally a retirement home. The
yeah.
only young
Yeah.
midfielder in there
Diog
is
and
Ricky
Puig.
Puig and
Yeah,
Puig, sorry, and De Jong. Yeah, De Jong.
I I think Pjanic has a good 2-3 more years. I think he'll
Mhm.
be playing some good football. I don't understand why Barca fans are giving him so much hate. You know,
yeah,
he's a fantastic player. He's
yeah.
one of the
Yeah, he's
best
a great player.
midfielders in
There's
the
no
world.
doubt about that. Yeah.
And I think at the moment, if you're saying at the present moment,
Pjanic is
I'm
better
not
than
saying
Arthur.
about Arthur.
Yeah,
Arthur, yeah, he's way better than Arthur.
Mhm.
Like miles. Like Arthur
Mhm.
has good performances. Pjanic is a game changer in the midfield. I
yeah.
don't understand why people don't. Like he's not an Iniesta or
But
Xavi or a Busquets, but
they're
yes,
more blaming the short-sighted approach of the board rather
Yeah,
than the
that is
player
true.
that's being
the
brought in.
long-term approach. Yeah,
That is
Mhm.
understandable, but people don't know how good Pjanic is, and I think he's going to surprise people.
he's
Very
obviously
true.
a very good player, and I think he's like Modric but in Barca. So I think it's a
Yeah,
very good.
I see
no,
Pjanic personally
I think no,
more of as a cruise.
I think Modric is little too hard. I think
Yeah,
he's
but
Modric is
like last few games, he has
Modric,
been
dude.
playing better than Messi. Like not like
Yeah,
attacking, but like
wait.
his style
Passing.
of playing and dribbling is
Okay.
quite
Mhm.
Messi-esque, and I think
All right. Yeah.
yeah,
Modric is just
So I personally see Pjanic as more of a cruise than a Modric because like he plays sort of deep. He does not attack as much,
5 minutes,
and
only
he
5 minutes.
usually controls the tempo of the game.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think like Modric is just I think his playing style. I think it's just like I know it's just different. I think Pjanic has that cruise type elegance to him,
Yeah,
Hmm.
and Modric is like the like it's very tough because like their functions are so similar. What they do is so similar. Just Modric, I think, does it way better than everyone. Like and Cruz also. I think
yeah.
Modric and Cruz are on their own level. But
Yeah.
I think Pjanic is very close to them, but I don't think he's as good.
At that
You
level,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the Modric on the ball is like it's beautiful. I mean, he and Cruz like when they were like at the peak, it kind of was like it was like Madrid's form of Xavi and Iniesta. I mean, pure like Xavi and
Hmm.
Iniesta
Yeah.
also like crazy. You don't get better than
Yeah.
that, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And did you guys watch the North London Derby?
No, I didn't waste my time watching it.
I think bench formers like they put a post where they showed two clowns fighting each other. I think nothing perfectly sounded up other than other than that, mistakes, and but
Hmm.
yeah. Um, No.
Yeah. So I think both these clubs were performing so bad on like lots of mistakes from both the sides. The game could have been easily called The Fault in Our Stars.
Bro.
And like Mourinho was typical Mourinho in the post-match press
Yeah.
conference. He said that like Amazon viewers are going to get to see this tactical masterclass of mine. And I was like,
Banter King.
I mean, I think Arsenal, like, to be honest, I think I've seen a lot of improvement,
Yeah.
so I don't want to give them a lot of stick, or like a lot of, criticism. I think, like, from where they were, to where they are now, it's like,
started from the
I think
bottom, now we are.
yeah.
Now we are still here.
I mean, like, you don't expect a person in a coma like a week ago to play like
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
football. I mean,
Slowly.
but slowly build it up. So
Yeah. And obviously
Yeah,
they'll be
so I think
selling Guendouzi because he has fallen out with the team staff, and I think
Yeah.
that would be a huge dent in their
I mean
squad.
I don't think it really matters. I don't think anybody in Arsenal is that good that it should matter, except Aubameyang.
4 teams that have been like
Yeah,
mostly linked to
Guendouzi
him.
is just
I don't really I don't really like his on the ball, but I'm like whenever he plays the match, like I think as a midfielder is supposed to control the tempo and create chances, right? I think he always
a
creates a
very
tempo, but like he's not
raw
able to
midfielder.
maintain it over a match,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I very well put. Yeah, I'm like yeah, that summed it up basically. Yeah, I
So
just don't
like
see him going
What do
to a
you
big club.
all think about the Messi's situation at Barca? Will he
I
stay for
think
long, or will he leave the club in 21?
so
I
like
think he'll stay.
okay, Rishabh, go on.
He'll stay. I mean, he's Messi and Barcelona. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a one-man club. Like no, so he's not a one-man.
One club
The club
man.
is a one club man. Yeah, yeah. He's a one club man. Yeah, sorry. So,
But
yeah,
Barca is a one-man club, though.
yeah, it is. Yeah, and I don't see him leaving. He loves Barca from the bottom of his heart. His loyalty is like super commendable.
Yeah.
So like from what I had read a couple of days ago, so the report said that the presidential candidates for Barcelona will be meeting Messi. Like they met him last Friday apparently, and like they were trying to sell their vision of the club and like get Messi to at least
Stay
favor
for
them
life.
for
Yeah.
the. And I think that if Bartomeu is re-elected as the president, I do not know if that can happen. If like a president can be re-elected, but if I think that if no, I think if Bartomeu does get re-elected,
Yeah.
then Messi will want to leave the club.
Yeah. Barca confirmed that Messi is still talking with his contractual situation with the club. So I think that would be.
I mean, I think Barca will do anything it takes to keep Messi on. So, I mean, if it is sacking Setien this year, they will sack Setien this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anything he wants. I mean, the amount of power he has over a club is, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, and he rightfully so, but I just don't see. I think if Barca is trying to create something, I think if Barca is trying to start or something, I just don't see it happening properly until and unless they find results. Especially with Messi in the team, that's what I don't like, his attitude. He would like to change everything towards like his, win. But I don't think he does that. I just think he wants the best for the club in the current stage, and he has very less years left, so he wants to make the best of it.
I think that's what. Even if he does not have a say in all the transfer decisions. At least that is what the board wants. They want to get Messi to win the Champions League before he retires, and that is why they're buying
Yeah.
all these experienced and older players like still holding on to Rakitic, buying Vidal, buying Pjanic as well now. So I think that could be the major reason to buy such older players.
Lord
And also
Arturo Vidal.
Messi's in his final 12 months with Barca. So I think if
At least
if they don't agree to a contract, Messi might leave for free in January. So yes, 6
no,
months,
he can
7
start
months.
talking with clubs in January.
Yeah. So
That would be just mental.
That would be
Imagine him going to
Juventus,
I mean,
exactly.
I
Bro.
think
That
that's
would be the
the
dream team. Dybala, Messi, and Ronaldo. Oh my God.
Dybala,
That
Messi,
I
Ronaldo,
just do,
exactly.
but yeah, I mean, it would work, but I just don't see like Ronaldo and Messi playing in the same team because like there'll be so many like ego battles, you know.
Yeah.
I think if someone is to step down, it's going to work really well, and I don't see Ronaldo doing that for sure, because I think Ronaldo is just mentally like he wants to be the best. He will be the best. So somehow he'll do everything by himself. He's the shit, So
And if Messi joins, I would like to see Sarri leave because Messi playing in his style is just
too boring.
eye-soaring.
Bro, I'm telling you, Messi CDM, jogging a position.
But even in that position, like Messi would exceed controlling the tempo of the game, like playing balls all over the top of the
more
defense.
Than Jorginho also, And like actually, I mean, he'd be able to deal with the press because of his.
And also, Pep might join UA, so I think that would be a good
that
deal.
Would be crazy,
that would be a good deal.
bro.
That would be crazy. See, I think if Pep is joining Juventus, I don't see Ronaldo staying. Not because like they have a bad history or anything. I don't both respect each other. I just don't think that Ronaldo.
I think CR7 does not
he's a
like
mistake in
Sarri
like Ronaldo
that much. So I think
because his playing style is like a lot of like touches, little less direct. I think Pep is also going to have the same thing, and I think he's going to have it more. So I think I just don't see like how they're going to combine. But dude, you never know. Ronaldo's combined with like the strangest manager. Like Rafa Benitez. He's good at that, and I mean. I just I think he'll work. He's disciplined, so and there's certainly a element of respect, so I think we'll see.
I think another reason Ronaldo does not really like Sarri is because Ronaldo is very like health conscious, and Sarri, we all know
very
I genuinely seeing him dying next year. like the way like his like he just sits in the like in his seat like emotionless, as if like life has been good to him. And just enjoy.
Imagine
manager.
Sarri being the next Mukesh of the football world. Like before every match you'll have this.
That would just
but like bro. I still think like Ronaldo has a certain level of respect for him, I think he still likes Sarri. I just don't think he likes him in certain like his certain decisions, like him playing number 9. I don't think he likes number 9 at all. I think he wants to get rid of it. He wants to play around the striker, like the center attacking mid. He's more of a center attacking mid. So I think that
because like when he plays number 9, it becomes easy for the centre backs to mark him. Which is exactly what Ronaldo dislikes.
Does not want,
when he gets space, I think like Ronaldo with his feet, like he likes to create and like at the same time be around the goals, I just think like a player of Ronaldo has nothing to prove. Okay, he's gonna score 1,000 goals. Give him what he wants. You're supposed to build the team around him also. I mean, I know it's not a one-man club, but look at him. I mean, the amount of things he's achieved, and you have brought in him for a reason. If you're not going to use him properly, might as well sell him back.
And I'm still surprised how Sarri is failing to win after getting Rabiot and Ramsey. I mean, that's just...
I
they
think
were
Ramsey
top they were the top 15 in the world at that point where they were signed by UA, and I think they're not being played at the club like enough to impact. So I think
I
it's
think
I
just
think
a weird decision.
Rabiot started playing.
Yeah,
I think Rabiot's finally gotten a hold of Serie A. I think
yeah,
his everything is improved. I think in the lockdown he worked out really hard. I think we saw from the Insta stories. I mean, I think there was a major shift in his physique. I think his dedication increased. He understood what it took.
mm,
And dude, he's super skilled. But Ramsey, I think,
yeah,
have had
yeah,
had a fall from the. It's been a decline for him. In the start, he was
yeah.
great, and like now he's been losing the ball. It's
Because of
just
Bentancur, of
not
course,
good.
like he's a really good Fede Valverde
center
kind of a
Valverde.
player. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Bentancur is Uruguay also. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just trying to look at that Uruguay midfield, like
The midfield,
Midfielders.
Torreira,
Torreira,
Bentancur,
Valverde,
Valverde,
and
and
Valverde.
Bentancur. Yeah.
That is just superb. I mean, and then you have like Cavani. I think
yeah,
Cavani has like one more
Cavani
big
and
Cavani is
tournament
still.
Suarez,
left in him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and
their
Suarez also. Yeah,
defense are Godin and
Godin and
Jimenez.
Jimenez. Yeah.
Jimenez. Yeah, I mean, Caceres also like.
It's a very good team.
I
Yeah,
mean, Caceres is experienced. So I mean, I and what else?
So
Sorry.
we were talking about Rabiot and Ramsey, and
Yeah, Rabiot.
Juventus are
I have.
offering both these players to like all the clubs that have a good midfielder, and Juventus would want a midfielder from them.
Yeah.
They're being
I
passed
I
around
think.
like Diwali Son Papdi.
I think I think I think they keep Rabiot. I think he's super skilled. I think he has a lot of Ramsey on the other hand. I don't see him staying because I just like because like I don't know, they don't have a specific function for Ramsey. Like it's kind of sad. Like I don't see him playing anywhere because he plays right in between attack and midfield, and like you have Dybala there and like Douglas Costa, and the competition in the top three is just too much. I just don't see him in it. And one more thing about Juventus that I don't use, like I'm using Atlanta because I know he's going to like Barca, but he's been a loyal servant to Juventus. So
yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. I think they need to use their best players. That's the only way they're going to win the Champions League.
I think even Pjanic would not be willing to risk his future, like near future, the next few months, by playing for Juventus, which is basically a club is not going to be at for the next, like in a few months' time. So he does not want to get injured.
Yeah.
I still think like, I mean, try to convince him. I mean, something because he's like so vital to that. Like in the Atlanta match, you could see that how they were able to break down our midfield. They pressed our midfield so properly. They cut the sideward passing lanes. They weren't allowed to spread the ball. They were forced to keep the ball in the middle. They were too compact. They were just pressing them like from all around. So I think Pjanic is the only player who could bring that flow to their passing and bring the ball out. Because he's so composed on the ball. It's like Pirlo type. So it's
And talking about the top four race in the Premier League, it's absolutely hot, especially now that City will not be having a Champions League ban. So fifth place is not going to be a Champions League spot in the Premier League. United, Chelsea, and Leicester, all these clubs in for it. Which team do you think will drop out, like not qualify for the Champions League among these three?
I think it just depends on the fixtures because I think Chelsea face
Chelsea have
Liverpool.
got Liverpool and
Liverpool.
Wolves.
Yeah, I think Chelsea
Leicester
have a hard
has
time
Spurs
keeping
and
up.
United.
Yeah, Spurs.
United. I think
Third Leicester and Man United the last day.
And last day, exactly.
I generally think Leicester is pulling out big time because I think they're not performing at all. I think even like the small teams are getting the better of them, and no matter like I know Spurs are not at their best. Yeah, but Chelsea, I think they just had 2-3 off performances. I think now they will. I think Frank Lampard is just gonna. I think he's gonna get the result somehow.
Yeah.
And in the end, like I think it'll stay like this in the end. Even if they win all their matches, I think it'll stay like this. But I think the last match, United versus Leicester, that's where United will get over Leicester.
And
That's where I see
Chelsea
them,
have a
just
very weird form because they won to City 2-1 and then they lost to West Ham 5-2. Then they won against Watford 3-0 and then they lost to Sheffield 3-0.
Sheffield United 3-0. Yeah.
Just
and
weird.
I just think Sheffield United is a very good team.
Yeah.
And
With
I think
Wilder
I
also,
think they just were off. Yeah, so they were just off. I think that match. Like you could see Lampard's reaction. He didn't even say anything. Like in the pitch, he was just sitting on the bench because he knew like this isn't like the Chelsea he's seen.
Yeah.
This is like I think they're just a little too tired or something, like something physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, something. But Sheffield just outplayed them. So yeah.
But
And
one
I
good thing, yeah.
I think those games just outline Chelsea's requirement of a new defense totally. I mean,
they just went all out on their attack because Pulisic and Ziyech and Werner, I think that's quite a good attack. And also they might be into buy Havertz. I think that's just a clean
that
sweep.
is a bit too much for me. Yeah, they need centre backs and I mean even left backs, right backs.
They should go for someone like Konate or Mukiele at Leipzig because like they have contact with Werner because they were teammates, and I think he can influence them to join Chelsea, and that would be a really good signing for them.
I think in the left back position, David Alaba, brings some experience, because I think they need
I mean, he's a target for
experience.
City as well, Alaba.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea has more to spend. I think they really want to build this team well, especially with the start they've had and like the potential Lampard has. You don't want to not give Lampard what he does, like what is bad in the market. You want to give him the best. So and Abramovich has always understood that. So
and they might also buy Chilwell. I think that's a very good.
Again, like City and Chelsea will have to fight for Chilwell too.
Even United, I think, is going a little bit.
United apparently are now favorites. Luke Shaw, I mean,
but they have Shaw and Brandon
him
Williams, so I think they are like not
personally,
great, but
I'm
like
not a big. They're decent.
Yeah, they're decent.
I personally do not like Luke Shaw much because look at Forlan Mendy's goal, for example.
You don't see Luke Shaw doing that.
Exactly. Luke Shaw, firstly, does not attack as much. Secondly, even when he's got the ball like near the touchline, he would not like dribble past the player. He usually plays the safe pass inside. That is not something I really like about Luke Shaw. Maybe it's because he's fearing another bad injury. That is why he's not attacking as much.
I actually kind of sympathize with him because like the number of injuries he's had and like the potential he had as a youngster. I mean, it's just sad.
Same with Phil Jones.
I think he should stay in United.
Minus the injuries.
Yeah. I remember like there was this interview where Ferguson said he could be the best defender ever.
Ferguson said this about Luke Shaw.
Jones.
Yeah, no. Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but guys, I'm sorry, I have to leave. It's 8 o'clock. We're completed.
So people, that is it from today's video. If you did enjoy watching, let me know by leaving a like or in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to express your views about all the topics we've discussed in the comment section as well. Don't be selfish. Share this video with your friends too. And make sure you subscribe to the Football Talk Exchange for more podcasts. All right,